Honestly, I didn't want to make this video. I've been thinking about it a lot. And I was like, maybe I should. I mean, it could get better. But nothing's going to get better unless you speak about what's wrong first. So, let's talk about the new Vogue. The new Vogue creative director, she has a vision. She was born into a very elite lifestyle. She comes from the world of fashion. She comes from brilliant minds, honestly. And I'm sure that when they appointed her, they looked at all the stuff that she's done to achieve her new position. She deserves credit for the work that she's done. She's a talented person, a talented artist, a talented creator, and she deserves to be acknowledged for that. That being said, her new vision for Vogue, I don't know if I can get behind it. When I look at Vogue, I see fashion presented to the everyday man. I see fashion presented to me when I was 12, and when I saw those magazines come in, I would jump to be the first one to read them and to rip out the pages that I loved the most and to make collages out of the work that I saw because I was so inspired by the amazing work that was there. Vogue to me represented the possibilities of everything that I hoped and dreamt of achieving when I saw those magazines. And when I see my favorite editions now, they represent the same thing. But that Vogue is gone now. It's changing. And I know we have to change. Yes, it's sitting on my trash can. Don't say anything about it. I know we have to change, and I know that we have to evolve. I just worry that Vogue is evolving in the wrong direction. From what I understand, she has plans on making Vogue more exclusive, um, more limited, more you buy it because you actually know about fashion, not because you just want to be inspired by the work and what the people put into Vogue, but simply because this is for the people who are actually interested in fashion. It gives a almost superior vibe. And out of all of the fashion magazines that I love, Vogue, being as amazing as it is, never came off as superior because it was just so well curated and so well priced and so well sold, right? It's like I want to see my favorite actors and actresses and movies. Not movie stars and artists. I mean, just in general, because I can open up Vogue and I can see musicians that I love next to pages of billion-dollar watches, next to pages of startup fashion companies that are making a big splash. It was the epitome of fashion in the world, and I worry that we will lose that because, in all due respect, a nepo baby who's always known about stuff won't appreciate the small guy. And I'm not trying to be like bitter and pent up about it. I'm just being honest, right? It's like, will Vogue still be Vogue? I mean, based off of these last two covers, and I know we're in the in between, so you can't be like, oh, well, well, it's not actually what she's created, her creative director ring or whatever. And I'm like, I know, but they're not great, you know. And and maybe it's my fear of change speaking, and maybe it's my bias. Why? Okay, maybe not even maybe. It is my bias speaking as well. But what magazine do we have outside of Vogue that did what it does, right? You can be like, oh, but there's Elle. There's all those other ones, that I'm not going to sit here and name off all the big fashion magazines. But I'm like, Elle's not Vogue. It's not. It's a good magazine at times, but it's still not Vogue, right? It doesn't have the history behind it. It doesn't have the just the background and everything, and it doesn't have the layout that Vogue has. It's There's a reason why Vogue became what it is, and the person behind that just stepped down, and the person who replaced her may not care so much about how would this show when I show it to, or when how would a kid in a supermarket feel when they open up the pages of Vogue, when they're standing in line next to their mom who's buying the vegetables that they hate, but when they open up that magazine, they see the possibilities of everything that they could be. Right? It's like, oh, it's your favorite musician on Vogue. Wow. I love that. I don't care about the clothes, but my favorite musician is there. I care about the clothes. I don't care about the musician. Oh my gosh, look at that design. It's amazing. It's beautiful. Are we cutting off a huge group of, honestly, customers simply because you want to appeal to your demographic? That seems a bit wrong. Seems a bit strange. I mean, I hate to be that guy. I really do. I hate to be like, oh, it's all going down the drain, and I don't think it is. I don't think it is. Vogue has to change. It has to. There's no way for it to stay the same now that Ann Windsor is gone. It has to change. And me being such a huge fan worries that that change will not be for the better. And I guess that's a trend right now in the fashion industry, has been a kind of like a return to separation of power, I guess you could say. You know, like um back in the day, I say that as if I came from back in the day, but I didn't. Just basic history. Back in the day, the people who could afford things like Dior and all of the other big French brands that I'm not going to sit here and name were the rich, the powerful, the politicians, the people who were from long lines of you know, they've been around, they get money, they have money, old money, maybe even like relatively new money, but it's still a couple generations removed. And you would go and you would get fittings and whatever, and it would be personally made for you, and there'd be like one of one. That's how the fashion was, and it had to change because they weren't making enough money that way. They had to branch out and sell to the masses because the customers, or their selective customers, the ones that they were prioritizing, didn't buy enough to keep those companies afloat. So they had to sell to people like us, like me. I guess I can't jump you. You might be a multi-billionaire watching this. I don't know why. Please stop. But um, they had to sell to people like me who just wanted a taste of what that life could be, of what it would feel like to be anywhere near something like that. And pendulum, I believe, is swinging back. And that's a topic for another day. But I feel like that's kind of what's happening with Vogue. Anne took something. Well, she jumped on that pendulum. She forced it to go this way. She was like, "This is how you grow. This is business. We sell to everyone. It's created for everyone in the most tasteful way possible." And I worry that this other girl is not other girl. That's rude. Chloe may be trying to uh, ride the trend that is taking fashion back towards the, oh, this is not for you, and I understand that you have to adjust to the time that you're in, the season of fashion, quite literally, that you are in. I understand that, but in a increasingly mm, um, changing world, in an increasingly separate society, on I'm not separating society, in an increasingly separating society, you need to find that line, and you need to find where you stand on that line. Like, don't pick a side, girl, if you don't have to. I understand. I'm not sitting here be like, you need to choose which side you're on. You don't. That's not my choice. That's not where I'm putting. That's not the position I'm being like, oh my gosh, no. What needs to happen, or what I hope happens, is that Vogue continues to be as amazing as it has always been. And no, Vogue is not perfect. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, every issue that they've ever issued is amazing. No, 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 no. But I worry that when I open up social media and I see people are trying to buy their favorite edition so that their kids can enjoy the Vogue that we enjoy, it's because everybody has a similar gut feeling that I do, that Vogue isn't going to be for us anymore. And maybe Vogue was never meant for us. Maybe it wasn't. But as its largest customer base, it's now become for us, right? So who is it gonna be for next? And if they don't want it, what happens to Vogue?